So earlier this week on Coach on Call, I had a sales rep that came into the session saying, Neil, beforehand, I could do 100 cold calls a day like a breeze. But now when I look at my cold call list, I freeze. How do I build back up my confidence and get back on track? So as a reminder, action comes first, motivation comes second, and then confidence normally follows. But here are 3 tips to help you out with your cold call confidence. So rather than trying to knock out 30 cold calls in one go back to back, what I like to do is split the cold calls into sets of 10. So we can take those 30 and say 10, 10, 10 with a minute break in between each block. But the first block are going to perhaps be the leads which are a little bit crappy. It doesn't matter if you make any mistakes, but these are the ones that you're going to use to kind of warm up your vocals, get used to speaking to people on the phone, and just get yourself hyped up. Then take a minute break, then go into the next 10 where these leads are a little bit more important. And this is where you want to start having those conversations. Perhaps you're booking meetings or perhaps you're being hit with objections. Then you go into your last 10 and this is where you're fully versed, fully ramped. Come at me with your best objection. Number 2, when it comes to those pauses or minute breaks, we can use these as reflection points. We could either use it to ask ourselves, all right, if I keep getting that objection or I keep getting shut down, how can I overcome that if it happens again in the next blog? Or perhaps go speak to one of your colleagues or peers or even your manager and say, how do we typically handle that objection or rejection point? But also what it allows you to do is to have a little bit of a reset to get your tone back on point before you go into the next block. And number 3, this is my favorite one, but before we say number 3, don't forget Coach on Call is a free weekly Zoom sales coaching session with myself at 1 p.m. where you can come in and ask all of your sales questions and get free coaching. So ask me for the invite, DM me, and I'll send. But number 3, if you can, when you're dialing, is to stand up. Because when you stand up, you've got your body language up, you've got your chest up, you've got your head up, you're going to sound much more clear and concise. Another thing to do is to smile when you're talking, because whatever you're talking about, you're going to have some enthusiasm in there. And it's your tonality that accounts for 87% of your communication on a cold call versus just the words you're saying. So in other words, it's more about how you say things versus what you're saying. And the other thing to do is to make sure that you slow down. If you're talking at 100 miles an hour, your prospect's most likely going to think that you're really nervous and they start mirroring you and they start speeding up the conversation. They're talking really fast, so just slow it down as if you're having a conversation with your bestie or your friend over the phone and keep it conversational.